Hey everybody, happy Monday. This is just going to be a short video on the PG and LeBron debate and who works out better and where. Well, I think in terms of people saying LeBron can't go to a team like the Sixers or the Rockets if they somehow find a way to do that financially, or a team like, just for the sake of arguing, because they have the alpha dog type of player, a team like the Golden State, which obviously wouldn't even be fair. But I think LeBron or a team like the Celtics, if he went back as I had to play with Kyrie, that probably wouldn't work either. But there's many scenarios where I don't know if the whole putting two alphas together argument over, like, for example, for the Sixers, let's take it from our City of Brotherly Love team's perspective. Paul George obviously isn't that guy that needs to have the ball in his hands every second and need to run and facilitate everything throughout him and have him be involved in every aspect of everything possible. That is not Paul George's MO. That is LeBron's MO, and it also is Ben Simmons. But we have to put it in the perspective of, look at how great of a relationship LeBron, Joel, and Ben all have already, and I don't think that's going to hinder anything. You might get off to a slow start because if anyone can remember the Heat with Bosh, LeBron, Wade, because Wade's the alpha dog. He was the guy before LeBron got there in Miami, and so it took a little bit of time. It took a little bit of adjustment. It took a little bit of maturing and nurturing and getting to be where you want it to be. But it eventually, of course, worked out and worked out well. Even when he went back to Cleveland initially, LeBron and Kyrie did not get along. But they were able to win. They were able to do stuff together. And it worked out okay until eventually LeBron forced him out almost of Cleveland. And that's what fears some Sixers fans. When he comes here, will that force somebody out? Will he eventually dislike one of our great guys and force him out? I don't think there's any chance in hell LeBron would ever force Ben Simmons out. They already have a great relationship, a very knit, close, tight relationship. And I don't think that's going to happen in a million years. And then Joel is obviously the down low anchor. LeBron would be fond and probably love having Joel on his team because he hasn't had a great down low presence on his team in a while now. He keeps having like more power forward-esque players where Kevin Love's not really a great down low presence. He's just a good all-around power forward / center where he's been playing this series. So I think that would benefit LeBron as well. And then we have Paul George. Paul George, of course, being he can play shooting guard and also play small forward, might fit into the whole mojo of what people are saying, how people are saying he might fit in with the team's chemistry more because he just gets plugged right in and his role doesn't really change other people's as drastically as getting a LeBron would. That is all true in itself. So the final decision you have to ask yourself, because Paul George is obviously a good shooter. He keeps getting better and better from long range. And then he's obviously a great driver, a solid defender, and a solid passer. So he's got all the attributes too. And he's a very good player. He's a hell of a good player. Don't count that wrong. I'm not saying... And I would love to have Paul George in the Sixers too. If the Sixers obviously cannot figure out how to get LeBron and they can't figure out the best way for themselves, getting Paul George, if we come into next season with having Paul George, I would have no problem with that. Now, of preferral, obviously I would prefer, even though he's older than Paul and actually pretty decently older than Paul, to have LeBron, because LeBron is just that dude. He's that guy. He's been there, done that. He's done everything, and he's the guy. He's the dude of our generation, of my ages watching basketball. So I would much rather have LeBron, but I would also love to have Paul George if we're unable to get a LeBron James. The question that it ultimately comes down to is do you value having a guy you could have possibly for, if you can figure out capitalize throughout most of our runs with Ben and Joel, potentially with Paul George being I'm actually not 100% sure on PG's age, so let me look it up real quick. Being PG is 28, so you would have a longer stretch, probably 5-6 years or so. You could have him with those guys if you can figure that out cap-wise. Where LeBron you probably have for 3, maybe 4 with those guys. So you can't ask yourself the question from that perspective, but then there's also the perspective of Paul George is an all-star elite talent. LeBron is a megastar elite talent in most of the far class of the greats of their own, in that class of their own. So you have to ask yourself, do you value having a guy longer and possibly having a guy that doesn't change as many roles in PG, who's also going to fit in and probably do great, and you would win championships with him here, and no doubt in my mind? Or do you want the guy that's the best of our time, the best of my generation's time, even for a little bit of a shorter period of time, to try to get it done and really make something really special with the GOAT of LeBron, and then who people think could be the future GOAT struggle in this series, but Ben Simmons. So there's questions to ask. I would prefer LeBron. I would obviously love to have Paul George if that doesn't happen. Hopefully one of the two happens in the offseason. It'll be an interesting offseason for the Sixers. Hopefully it does not start tonight. This has been Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric. Peace out.